Hey everyone, my name is Anne and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be making this really easy sweater. I'll be making a small in this video, but you can find sizes X small to 3X large in this tutorial and also in the written pattern, which I have linked down below. But here are the supplies you'll be needing for this project. So to begin on this pattern, I have over here my 5.5mm hook in my category for yarn. We're going to begin on the front panel, and I will first make a slip knot. You can do this any way you would like. From here, make a chain of 71, but since this pattern consists of sizes X small to 3X large, the amount of chains you'll be making will be indicated right on the side. But since I am making a size small, I will chain a number of 71. And to make a chain, you just want to yarn over and pull through. Again, yarning over and pulling through, just like this. So after you have your chain, we will begin on row 1. To begin row 1, skip this first chain, insert your hook into this second chain, and we will work a half double crochet. To work a half double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook into the chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 3. Doing this again, yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 3. And now you just want to work half double crochets into each chain all the way down your row. So I have just made it back here with these half double crochets. Now once you reach the end, chain 1 and turn your work around. That chain 1 does not count as our first stitch. So moving on to row 2, skip this first chain and insert your hook into this first stitch. We will work a back bar half double crochet. To work a back bar half double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook only into this back bar or back loop of the stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3. So again, yarn over, insert your hook only into this back bar, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3. And now just work these back bar half double crochets into each stitch all the way down your row until the end. So I have made it back here with these back bar half double crochets, and once you reach the end, as always, chain 1 and turn your work around. That chain 1 does not count as your first stitch. So now to continue our front panel, you want to repeat row 2, which is that row of back bar half double crochets, until you have a total of 32 rows. But once again, since this video contains sizes X small to 3X large, the amount of rows you'll be making for each size will be indicated right over here. But I'm going to work up my 32 rows because I am making a size small, and then I will see you guys back for the next steps. So I have over here my 32 rows working these back bar half double crochets. Looks really good so far. And now that we have our front panel, I cut and fastened off once I reach the end. And now we're going to move directly on to working the bottom border along the edges here. So let's go ahead and get started on that. So now we're going to begin working the border along the edge here. I have once again my 5.5mm hook and my yarn. I will make a slip knot. After this, insert your hook into this first row and slip stitch to secure. So I'll insert my hook, yarn over and pull through for a slip knot, just like this. From here, chain 1. Now beginning into this first row, we will work a half double crochet. Into the next row, we will work 2 half double crochets. So once again, going back into this row, that is our first half double crochet. And then half double crochet again into that same stitch, just like this. Into the next row, work 1 half double crochet. And then into the next row, work 2 half double crochets. Now to continue this pattern, you want to work 1 half double crochet and then 2 half double crochets into the next row, all along our edge until you reach the end, and I will meet you guys back once I have made it to this point. So I have just finished up working these half double crochets along my edge. Once you reach the end, just chain 1 and turn your work around. Moving on to row 1, into this first stitch, we will work a front post double crochet. To work a front post double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook right behind this post, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, just like this. Now into the next post, we'll work another front post double crochet. So again, yarn over, insert your hook into the next post, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now into the next 2 stitches, we will work 2 back post double crochets, which is very similar to our front post double crochets. Yarn over. This time, insert your hook right into the back, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, into the next post as well. Insert your hook right behind here, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Now to continue this pattern, you want to work 2 front post double crochets and then 2 back post double crochets into each stitch all the way along your edge, but I'm going to do this one more time with you guys. So into the next stitch, work a front post double crochet, work another front post double crochet, now work 2 back post double crochets into the next 2 stitches. Just like this. And now once again, repeat working 2 front post double crochets, then 2 back post double crochets, and then I will meet back once I have reached the end over here. So I have made it back here with my front and back post double crochets down my row. Once you reach the end, chain 1 and turn your work around. Moving on to row 2, into this first stitch, work 2 front post double crochets and then 2 back post double crochets into the next 2 stitches. So these are my 2 front posts and then 2 back posts. And once again, you just want to repeat doing these 2 front post double crochets, these 2 back post double crochets into each stitch down your row. However, if you're working a size X small, medium, extra large or 3 extra large, you're actually going to begin this row working 2 back post double crochets and then 2 front post double crochets instead of 2 front posts and then 2 back posts. That is the only difference here. But once I reach the end of my row, I will cut and fasten off, but I will see you guys back when I am all done. So this is what my finished border is looking like. I cut and fastened off once I reached the end. And now that we have our border at this end, you do want to repeat this same process for the opposite side. So I'm going to work up the same border as we did at the top, doing nothing different, and then I will meet you guys back to get started on the back panel. So now I have made a back here with both of my borders along the side, looking really good so far. And now we're going to place our back bodice aside and we're going to move on to working the front bodice, and it is really easy. The front and back panels are identical, except the only difference between our front panel is instead of making a chain of 81, you're going to make a chain of 91 instead, so it's just going to be a little bit longer. But then you want to repeat those same border steps as we did here. Same exact thing, except you're making a chain of 91 instead of 81. And I have already completed my front bodice over here. As you can see, this is where we did the 10 extra chains. So now we're going to move on to seaming our front and back panels together. So let's go ahead and jump on to those steps. So now we're going to get started on seaming our front and back panels together. As you can see here, all I did was just lay my front panel on top of my back panel. And now I have a tapestry needle with some yarn. So now we're going to begin on the side here. We're going to seam up the long side of our panels. So to seam our 2 panels together, I am going to insert my hook 3.5 inches from the top, and then through both of the panels, pull through. And if you do not want to slit in your work as I do here, that's totally fine. You can just start from the bottom instead. But I'm going to take my hook, come all the way back around, and then insert it into the next 2 stitches. Pull straight through, just like this. And then just keep on whip stitching all the way up your panel until you have 7 inches from the top, because that's going to leave room for our armhole. But I'm going to work all the way down, and then I will see you guys back to cut and fasten off once I reach the end. So I am back here, and I have just finished whip stitching all the way along our side. And I have these 7 inches at the end remaining, and again that's going to leave room for our armhole. So now that you have one side complete, you do want to repeat this process on the opposite side as well, just beginning 3.5 inches from the top, whip stitching your way up until you have 7 inches from the top here. And then after that, the last thing you would need to seam, we're going to, beginning into this top corner, whip stitch up until 2 inches. And then doing that the same on the opposite side as well, beginning into this top corner, whip stitch for 2 inches, and that's going to make our head hole. So I'm going to do the other side in our 2 shoulder straps, and then I will see you guys back when I'm all done. So this is what my work is looking like once I have seamed both of our sides up, just like this, and then our 2 shoulder straps. So now, once I finished everything, I did flip my work inside out so that the good side should be facing us. And from here, we're going to move directly to working the sleeves. So let's go ahead and get started on that. So now we're going to be moving on to the sleeve here. I will first make a slip knot. and then insert my hook right into the seam of our armhole and slip stitch to secure. Yarn over and pull through everything. Now from here, beginning into this first stitch, we will half double crochet into each stitch all the way around your armhole, and I will meet back once I have reached the end. So I have just finished up working my half double crochets into each stitch all the way around. And now to join this foundation row, slip stitch into this first stitch, chain 1 and turn your work around. So now moving on to row 2, beginning into this first stitch, we will back bar half double crochet into each stitch all the way around, and then slip stitch into that first stitch once you reach the end. And once you have finished working these back bar half double crochets into each stitch, slip stitch into this first stitch to join, chain 1 and turn your work around. And the sleeve is going to be really simple. You want to repeat this first row, which is with these back bar half double crochets, until you have a total of 46 rows. So I'm going to quickly work up my 46 rows, and then I will meet you guys back to work the cuff. So this is what my sleeve is looking like after 46 rows with those back bar half double crochets. Now that we have our sleeve, we will not cut and fasten off. We're actually going to move on to working the cuff from this point. So let's go ahead and get started on that. So now we're going to move on to working the cuff, and this is really simple. I've already chained and turned my work around, and now beginning into this first stitch, we will work one front bar, one front post double crochet, just like this, and then into the next stitch, work a back post double crochet. And now just continue alternating your front post double crochets and your back post half double crochets into each stitch all the way around, and then slip stitch into that first stitch to join. And so as you can see, I just finished alternating these front and back post double crochets until the end. Now I'll just slip stitch into this first stitch, chain 1 and turn my work around. And now you just want to repeat row 1 one more time for 2 rows. So you can make this cuff however long you would like, but I will do this one more time, and then I will cut and fasten off and then meet you guys back. So I have just finished up that second row to my cuff, and then as I said, I cut and fastened off once I reached the end. And now that we have one sleeve complete, you do need to repeat this process on the opposite side as well, which I have already done over here. And once you have both of your sleeves, as I have, you are actually all done with your project. You can just weave in all of your loose ends using a tapestry needle. But yeah, that is the end of the tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed and found this helpful. Bye! Well, if you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. If you bought this pattern, it would be super helpful if you left a positive review under my Etsy shop. But that's all. I'll see you guys later. Bye!